Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Excuse me. Alright, so I've just been working on this little patrol boat. Need some coffee in me. Yes, been working on this patrol boat. So, still have the depth thingy going on. It's almost done. There's just a little bit more code and then expanding on the graphic. So I thought maybe I would build something different. So where I got this, I started with the, the Arctic crab boat I built. There's probably a video for that, I'm not sure. This one here, the medium crab boat. And then all they did was just take, like, I think it stopped here, and then I just extended it by about that much. That's all I did. And then I took this and I raised it up. Alright, a couple of things. This is just an electric. Can go out to shore, maybe it'll work. It's not, nothing's connected. That's kind of what I have to do now. I gotta label everything and whatever. So that's not what I want to do in this video. What I want to do in this video, I want to go over the radar. So someone was asking me in the I made a comment there on the radar video. I understand that it can be difficult if you're not used to coding, or whatever. It can be difficult because there's a lot of things there. There's the microcontroller that needs to be built. Then we need to add the code. Then we need to make sure it's all connected properly. There's a lot there. So the reason why I don't just copy and paste my code is because I'm hoping that I want people to do the work, because that's how you learn. If you just copy and paste it, you're not really going to learn. And I still feel that if people copy and paste the code, they may still have issues, right? And then if they still have issues, it'll be even harder for me to address, because I'll be like, well, did you copy and paste it? You know what I mean? So, all things being what they are, that's all. I just wanted to make sure that I don't think it's a super simple radar on this one. I think the radar on this one was a little different. I love this boat. This little mini boat is cool. Yeah, that's all, because I think it's important. That's how we learn, just by doing things over and over again. And when we're able to use the radar, now is this a super simple radar in this one? I can't remember. Oh, which one? Yeah, so this is the super simple radar. Alright, perfect. So what I want people to do is I want people to write the code. And that way, once you've written the code, you'll know how it works. And okay, so like basically what I'm getting at is that if you want to make a radius dial in Stormworks, it's the same. The code is exactly the same. So that's why another reason why it's nice to be able to type it out, because once you know what you're typing out, it's the same over and over again. And you'll be able to do all kinds of cool stuff with it. So I guess that's what I'm hoping for too. Alright, so where are we going to put this thing? And yeah, we'll just put it here. That'll work. Alright, so this is the super simple radar. Alright, how does it work? We have the radar, which comes into here. We have the radar panel, which comes into here, which we're not using. Oh, it turns the radar on. Channel 1. And then what's this? Just the target. Okay. So let's get rid of the radar panel in. And let's get rid of radar on. Alright, so now we have just 4 things. The radar's rotation, out to the video, and when we find a target. And target, I think it's just set up to channel 1. Yeah, so just channel 1. Easy peasy, right? There's 8 channels in the radar. We're reading the first channel. Every time the first channel detects a target, it's gonna tell us, hey, I've detected a target, okay? That's the super simple radar. So the first thing we want to do is we want to start with that. We just want to make sure that the radar comes in and then we have our composite connected to our first wheel block. This is really all that matters. And then it bridges through where we read the rotation, and that goes into the second wheel block. Now why is that? In the second wheel block, it handles the circles on the screen, and then it draws a line. And that line rotates with the radar. That's all this does. In the first wheel block, 1, 2, 3, we handle the 8 targets. And this is cool because look at how much more room there is. So I can totally I'm going to expand on this and make it really wicked. But for now, so we have here, we define our dimensions of the screen, our width and our height. Then the first function is every logical tick. What do we want to do? In this case, we want to detect all 8 targets every time it turns around. Did it detect 8 targets? Yes, it did. Then what we need to do is we need to say, okay, what do we need from those targets? We need the rotation value, we need the angle of rotation, and we also need the distance from us to the target, okay? So if we look at the radar, and in this case, we're going to use the Fairlight radar, and I can just put 2 up here. So if we look at this one, let's make this one our active one. It's going to go clockwise. And then, let's see, we're going to change this down so it detects targets up to 2 kilometers. That's probably pretty good. That's probably pretty sensitive at 2 kilometers. Alright, so we give it electricity. We take the rotation, we bring that in. We need a composite from the radar, that goes in there. And then temporarily what we're going to do is we're going to send this out to the monitor here, which I'm using for the gun. Okay, so let's look at the composite channels. Coming off the radar, we have channels 1 through 8. The number channel 1, number channel 2. No. Targets. So this is on off. So you see how it says outputs up data for up to 8 targets. So target number 1 has 4 channels. Target number 2 has 4 channels. Target number 3 has 4 channels, so on and so forth. Alright? So every target you want to detect, we're going to have 4 different channels. So we bring that into the load. We only need 2. We need the rotation, which in this case, target 1, channel 2 is its rotation. Yeah, I should actually double check that, to be honest. Let's double check this. Alright, so our number channels. Channel number 1 is the distance, the first target's distance. Channel number 2 is the first target's azimuth angle. Right? Channel number 3 is the first target's elevation. And channel number 4 is the first target's time since it's been detected. So the first 4 channels coming from the radar belong to target number 1. So you see how we can split that? So you can either split that in the code, or you could split that in the microcontroller and then send those individual channels into the code. Either way, we need to be able to read those individual channels in the code. So that's what we've done here. Target 1, target 1's rotation, target 1's distance. In this case, we're using channel 1 and channel 2. Channel 1 happens to be the target distance, and channel 2 happens to be the azimuth angle. And the azimuth angle is just the angle of rotation based on from us to the target. And we need that rotation so that way we can tell the line on the screen where to rotate in relation to us. So easy peasy. So then when we have those 2 numbers, what we then need to do is we need to, where's the angle as well? We need to take the rotation and we need to convert it into degrees. So we basically turn it into a compass, right? Now we turn it into a compass. And then we make sure that we have cosine and sine. I don't really want to go over the math. You can Google that. It's, you know. But anyways, so why do we need x1 and y1? Well, when we draw a line, we're going to draw the line from the center of the screen to x1 and y1. And then we're also going to draw a circle at x1 and y1. So then we're going to get a line, and then we're going to get a circle wherever that is. Every time the target comes up. So we need to do that for each individual target. Now here the important thing is to make sure you have your spelling correct, right? The plus signs, all that kind of stuff. You know. And that's the other reason why I don't necessarily copy and paste it. It's just because, like, there's just a lot here, right? It could be full of spelling mistakes, and I don't want to post something that doesn't work. Well, you see, all those are the same color. Yes, I gotta change that. Okay, so now we have that, right? You've seen it. We need an if statement for each target, which means every time this target value comes up, then what is it going to do? It's going to do that. Where do we get that target value? We read it off the radar. So when the radar says target H, then down here it'll say if target H, then set the screen color to whatever that is, green maybe, and then we're going to draw a circle, and then we're going to draw a line, and we're going to draw a circle and a line wherever it happens to be. So make sure you have cosine and sine, and not sine and cosine, which is what I was doing as well. And it's pretty much identical here, cosine and sine. Except here, you see this one is negative. Do you notice that? Do you notice that? Interesting. Now, I did a video where I talk about how to get the line on the screen to rotate. And I suspect there's the rotate. Okay, so let's make 6 is going to be the radar. Six can turn on the radar, and for now I can turn that on. Okay, so then which way is it gonna? Which way is it facing here? It's facing that way. So the radar, in this case, so we need to do one of two things. We either need to turn the radar, which is the easiest thing to do, so it faces the line. So the line on the radar faces the line on the monitor. Otherwise, we have to figure out what that rotation is. right? Whatever number it is, 3, 4, 5, 10. I think I did a video too about that. In the Lua, if you look at the Lua playlist I have there, all the Lua videos I made are in there. Alright, so we press 6. So there's the radar. So anything it detects, which in this case is nothing. So we'll have to capture it. I don't know. Huh. Alright, so why isn't it detecting any targets? It's on and it's spinning. Oh, look at that. You can change the yaw angle and the pitch angle of the radar. Finally. That's probably been there for years, but I just seen that now. Sweet. So you can actually change. I remember last time you had to set up radar for the individual angles. You couldn't do that, but they added this. Nice. So now you can actually change the radar. Or, yeah, you can actually rotate, change the angle. Ooh, that's, I'm gonna have to expand on my Lua playlist here, my goodness. Okay, so that comes into here. What is going on here? Video goes out to there, yeah. How come it's not detecting any targets? Is it just too sensitive, maybe? It's doing nothing. Oh. Well, the easiest thing we can do is get a light. Oh, that's right. So the radar is unable to detect us because we are below the radar. We are down here. So if we want to make sure it's detecting us, where can I plant it here? Basically, you got to plant it at the water line if you want it to be as effective as it can be. Let's see, we'll just paste that, merge this here. You'll see what I mean. There we go. See, it's detecting stuff now. All right. So in one way, that's good. That's a good feature because what it does is now we're not going to be detecting us. Right? We're only going to be detecting enemies that are at this elevation. Aircraft, whatever. That's the benefit of something up high like that. So we could then, okay, we could then duplicate that and we could move this radar lower Right, so you see all those factors involved in what could be wrong. Maybe the radar's at the wrong height. There's a few things. Okay, so actually we'll paste this one here. It'd be like a dummy radar. Now, it doesn't work below the water line, so you have to be careful where you plant it, because if it goes below the water, you're not going to get a reading at all. That's probably good there. Alright, so now what do I mean by you could probably merge it? Well, what we could probably do is we could double this. And we don't need this here, but we could bridge that through there. Now, the rotation on this, what we then need to do is we need to change that radar to we need to copy one radar, because we don't want to, we're not going to be changing the rotation. So there, so we've just added that other radar onto it just by copying that Lua script. Now what we need to do is we need to add the second composite input, radar B. Now in this case, okay, what you can do with radar B is we can go through and we can change all of the color codes so that way it's just different, so you know which radar is which one's close range, which one's medium range, right? Like for example, in here, okay, all these ones, we'll change this to all the same. I think this is blue. Alright, so we do that for that one. And then in this Lua block here, we can do this for... we can make it a completely different color. And now you're going to have two radars printing on the same screen, and you can set one up to long range and you can set one up to close range, and now both radars are able to detect 8 targets. So now, right, so you see what we're doing here, we can set up one for really close range. Instead of having one radar trying to track and detect all these, now we've enhanced our radar. Okay, so now we'll update that. What we need to do is take that to there. Oh, that needs to be calibrated the same as this one here. What is it? 0.18, 0.19. Alright. That way it rotates the same, it detects the same. Channel 6. Radar 2 goes into there. We don't need its rotation, So let's just check that. We don't need this rotation. So now we should only be getting data from that radar because it's quote unquote at the water line. Yeah. Now, if we change color, we just need to do it one more time just to confirm. It is printing. Not auto read, we just need a couple just to confirm. Oh. There we go. Now it's red. Perfect. So that confirms everything we need to know about that. So our short range radar can be red. Our medium range radar can be blue. And our long range radar can be green. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just changing the colors. And this is why I like you guys to write it out yourselves. So you can play around with this. You can do what I'm doing here. You're going to change the values. You can change the colors. You can see how it works, right? That's how you learn. All right, and then this one here should be blue. And then we'll add one more. So we have our close range set up to about 1 kilometer, which is quite close. We can have our medium range set up to maybe 5 kilometers, and then we can have our long range maybe set up for 10 kilometers or more. You know, something like whatever. You're gonna figure it out in a jet. That might be realistic. If you want to be reaching targets further than that, that's how we do that, and that's how we combine all of this together. And we can sort of continuously expand this simply by copying and pasting the Lua script and then just changing the color. And what we're doing is we're infinitely adding to our radar. And you can change the colors, whatever. Now, it's not going to determine which target is which, but all it's going to do is it's going to give you a way better, let me rephrase this, a more precise way of detecting targets and knowing where they are when you do it like this. So, have I thought about this for a long time? Yes. And in my original thoughts were to try and do this all in one block of code. And I realize now it's just not possible. But now we have 3 blocks of code. Let's add the third radar, which is going to be here. So we could call this long range radar. Right? This one can be medium range. Actually, this one is short range because it's on the water. Short range radar, long range radar, and then this one here could be long. This could be aircraft, you know. because it's so high. This one here, this could be boats. You know, things at sea level, whatever it is, right? Short, medium, and then long range. And then just remember that how it detects objects is also where it sits at sea level. So we might have to make this kind of like a dummy, and then we may have to cut this one here, and we may have to put all three of them down at sea level in order for them to give us to detect the objects that we wanted to. And we're actually going to test that right now. So, can paste that there, and can paste that there. Now, there is our 3 radars. Oh, you know what I need to do now? So we have our short range, which is 1 kilometer, our medium range, which I said was going to be about 5 kilometers, and our long range, which is going to be about 10 kilometers. All right. Now let's see how active the radars are. There we go. So you see how they're printing? I think 2 might be the same color. All right, let's now be mindful that the long-range radar might not be detecting us simply because it's range, right? It's sensitive to however far out it is. But I just want to check to make sure that we have 3 different types of color. Oh no, we do. Okay, this one here. It's gotta be in the middle. Whoops. All right. And it's cool because all 3 radars are able to print on top of each other. There we go. All three types of colors. And you're probably wondering, why are they at all the same length? Well, they're all scaled. They should all be scaled similarly. So that's something that I'll need to do. So I need to go through and say, okay, this one is our long range radar. So that one I'll have to check. I'll either need to divide this here by the radius, for example, like this. Right, so when we start to do stuff like that, then we develop a scale, and then of course, in the long-range radar, which is detecting things up to 10 kilometers away, each pixel could be almost a kilometer. So if you don't necessarily see a teeny-weeny green line, like if I come over here, for example, I'm just part of the. It's all just going to be part of this big blob, but you kind of get the idea. That part I'll have to check on the scale. Right now, it'll just detect it and it'll draw a line however long it wants to, until it gets, you know, closer to the radar and you can see it. But I'm pretty sure to get an effective scale, you need to do that. You take the distance, obviously divide it by our radius. To me, that seems to make sense. Yeah, so it's just a matter of going through. I said divide. Holy, the time is. Where are we at? Holy moly, 37 minutes. Alright. This is my I can't shovel snow. I'm making a YouTube video. That's my excuse. I don't care if you're slipping. I got a video to make. Alright, so complaints here. So then we'll press play and we'll see what that did. It'll take at least one of these things, and it shouldn't make them so big. Oh yeah, that was green. Yeah, so green is pretty much non-existent now because it's detecting objects at whatever. So our close range radar, or short range radar, what's this one here? Let's see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take. See if this. I'm still gonna have to edit each one. This is faster. Probably is. know, I just gotta write the B and the C on there. Oh, look at those skills. Look at those copy and paste skills. Jeepers. No one's got them. No one's got them. No one can compete. Alright, alright. Okay, now we gotta do this. Yeah, you see that? See our medium range radar, or our short range radar. You see how, so there. So now everything is scaled. So now we're able to finally find a scale. We're finally able to complete the super simple radar. I love it. I absolutely love it. Every time I open the radar code, there's more to add. There's more things to do. I really like that. Because it's simple, but at the same time, it's so much fun. Right? And now what we've done is we've added, oh, look at that, short, medium, and long range radar to a single screen. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right. All right. Yeah, now see everything is scaled. That's cool. So if we go over, now what we have to do is we have to go over by enemy territory, and we have to see if we're able to detect the enemy. Should be able to. Oh, one's going, wait. Do you see what's going on there? Wait. Now they're spinning in the opposite direction that I need them to. Cool. Alright, so clear that, we'll cut that. Press U, paste. Cut that, press U, paste. Cut that. We press U, and what that does is it changes the rotation. Alright, now I think I could save it. I think I'm at a point where I can save it. There we go. Okay. Cool. Well, that was the super simple radar. Don't know what else to say. I will leave it with this. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribing. You guys are super duper awesome. And I'm glad you enjoyed the build. So we will be finishing the depth thingy. I just needed a ship. We're gonna go on what we'll do is we'll start a career in we'll return to our career in military mode. Because I needed a medium range ship, right? And the last ship that I built, it was okay, but it ended up being way too big. And then when I used it, I thought, okay, like the ships that do best are fast and they're kind of arcade style. So that is sort of what we have here with this. So the turret, the front turret, moves with the mouse. Or it tries to anyways. It's slow right now. Yeah, so I'm just kind of calibrating those things, trying to get them working out. Let's see if that works. Yeah, there we go. This thing is gonna take work. But it's deadly. Yeah. And that's what we'll be doing next. We'll be taking this thing out and we'll be looking for the enemy and we'll be testing to see what needs to be calibrated, what needs to be changed. Right, and this is just an electronic shore boat. I may as well go over that. I built it, no big deal. Yeah. Got a little bit of a shape to it, whatever, it's fast. That's all you need, right? If you're rescuing somebody, you just gotta go to their ship for a minute. Cross a bay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to build one with a modular engine in it or if I just wanted to go with batteries. So this one here has just got batteries in the midsection. And that's it. So I hope from that you learned a little bit. I hope you learned more about the radar, how it works. That's kind of be this video. It'll just be like a recap, I guess, of the radar. I showed you how to add a long range, medium range, and short range script simply by copying and pasting the script, changing the Lua colors, and then figuring out the distance, whatever you want that to be. So that way when it detects the target, it'll print it on the screen. You can change that color to whatever you want, so that way you know, is the target far away, close to you, or, you know, somewhere in between. And again, all that has to do with the detection rating of the target. If the maximum range is 10 kilometers, then if you get a line going from the center of the screen all the way to the edge, you know it's 10 kilometers away. So in the next video, what we'll do is we will sail out and we will look for the enemy, and we will further test the accuracy of the super simple radar. So thank you so much for watching, liking and subscribing, and I'll see you all hopefully in the next video.